Hi everybody, today we're going to make Raspberry Fudgy Brownies by Christine Waltermeyer, which is featured in the Vegan Kickstart book by Dr. Neil Barnard. Alright, so come on over, we're going to get started. So the key ingredient, believe it or not, in these brownies are black beans. And I love sharing Simple Truth Organic, 99 cents for a can of beans. And this is 2 cans of black beans, so we're going to use a food processor. And like I've said before, I used to be very intimidated by a food processor. If I saw a recipe with it, I wouldn't do it. But it's so easy, so get a food processor. It's worth it. And then the sweetener is all dates. So these are the jewel dates. We get a 2-pound case at Costco for $11. And you definitely want to make sure you pit them, okay? So it's a whole cup of dates. So it's a lot of dates. Get that pit out of there so it's not sounding like rocks. And I like to pack it in. So really pack it in as many as you can, and I already did that. So that's going to be our sweetener. And the beans are actually acting as the oil. So this is a whole food plant-based diet, no added oil and no added sugar. And dates are high in fiber and they're high in potassium. So they actually have some nutrition, whereas obviously regular sugar does not. Okay, and then we're going to add some raspberry preserves, which is fun. So I just went to the store and got a jar of my local raspberry preserves, and it's a whole cup. So 2 cans of black beans rinsed. Always rinse your bean. A cup of medjool dates. And a cup of raspberry preserves. And then we're going to start by blending these 3 ingredients together, all right? Hold your ears. All right, let's take a peek. There you go. Come on in. It smells delicious. So now for the fun part. We are going to add in some Hershey's cocoa, so it's unsweetened, vegan, no dairy. It's a whole cup, which I'm a little concerned about. I don't drink caffeine, so I'm hoping I can eat these and still go to bed at night. And then we're going to add some flour, and I always use Bob's Red Mill all-purpose gluten-free baking flour, like I show. For me, it's worked for everything, and so that's what I'm using. And there's only 1/4 of a cup and 2 tablespoons. So really, the black beans make up most of this dish instead of flour. And the black beans are full of fiber, calcium, and obviously a lot of protein. So just add in that extra little bit. And then we're going to add in some sea salt. And of course that's optional if you don't do salt. I'm going to do a little extra. This is 1/4 of a teaspoon. And we need to add our vanilla. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I show this one a lot. I get this, excuse me, we got to shake it up. We get this at Costco. I'm going to shake it up to get the sediment off the bottom. Vanilla just makes everything taste better and does help it taste a little bit sweet. And that was supposed to go with the wet ingredients, but I think we'll be fine. All right, so here we go again. One more round of blending. And while you're preparing this, you could heat your oven at 350 and get that going for you also. Give it a little scrape. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. It's like fudge. It's gonna be delish. You know, I think it looks pretty good. Let's just go for it here. So this is an 8x8 pan that is very used. That's because we do a lot of baking here. And then you want to use some parchment paper because after it bakes, when it cools, you're going to lift the brownies up with the parchment paper and cut them into squares. All right. Okay, so let's get this beautifulness into our pan. You know what? Well, we'll start. Just watch that you have your blade. It could come down. Oh my gosh. So the beans are amazing. I have combined black beans in one of my videos with the Trader Joe's brownie mix and not use the oil and the egg, and it worked out great too. So this is just a different recipe, and I love raspberry. So that's actually what drew me to this recipe, was the use of the raspberries with the chocolate. Gosh, it's so warm. Okay, let me pull out the blade, which is buried in a sea of chocolate. So if you're a chocolate fan, I think you're going to love these. And before I end, I want to tell you more about Dr. Neil Barnard, who wrote the book, The Vegan Startup Kit, because he is a pretty amazing force in the vegan movement. And I did my plant-based training with PCRM. PCRM stands for the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And Dr. Neil Barnard started it in the 80s. So it's called PCRM. You can go to pcrm.org. They have a 21-day kickstart if you're interested in going fully plant-based. And this will be whole foods plant-based. So it'll be low fat, low oil, low sugar, low salt. So it'll be very healthy because it's easy to be a junk food vegan. Oreos, potato chips, and Coca-Cola are all vegan. So you want to do your best to eat a whole food plant-based diet as much as possible, and then have a little vegan junk food when you want, once a week or something. All right. So we're going to get it in here, and then actually just going to use your hands. I'm going to get this now to help. I'm going to have a little raspberry on top. There we go. Gosh, so thick. So definitely check out pcrm.org for resources, for research. They do amazing work to help stop animal testing in labs at medical schools. Okay. The recipe says to use your hands, so I'm afraid I'm going to look like a little kid who just went finger painting. So let's see if we can smooth this out. I can still use my hands for other things here. Okay. Looking good here. It just depends if it's for you or if you're taking them to a party, how pretty you want to make it. Now you can add, I'm going to try licking my finger. Yummy. So you can add vegan chocolate chips on top, sprinkle them on top. These are from Trader Joe's, and they don't say vegan, but when you read the ingredients, I've said this in many of my videos, they do not have dairy in them, but they are made in a facility that manufactures dairy. I'm allergic to dairy and I don't have a reaction, but I just want to give you that. Or Enjoy is a brand of small chocolate chips that are 100% vegan and allergy free. So I'm just going to throw a few. There's already obviously a ton of chocolate going on. I'll just do a little bit, just because I don't eat a lot of chocolate. I want to make sure, again, that I can sleep. All right, my husband loves chocolate and wants me to dump the whole bag behind the camera. Oh, we're not going to do that. Okay, we'll just do it sparingly. And you can dump the whole bag if you want. All right, so we're going to put them on the top shelf, again at 350 for 30 minutes. All right, and then I want to show you a couple more things while those are starting to cook about Dr. Neil Barnard. So I don't have the Vegan Kickstart. That's one of his newer books, but these are some of my other books by him that I used during my training to become a Food for Life instructor. This is Dr. Barnard. This is his program for reversing diabetes. So if you are diabetic, pre-diabetic, or know anybody with diabetes, please read this book. It is phenomenal. My father unfortunately died of a heart attack from type 2 diabetes complications, and I wish this book would have been out 20 years ago because it could have saved his life. So it's completely different than what people have been told for all those years, and it's more about the fat than the carbs, okay? But I'll let you read it to decide. This is a great one by Dr. Neil Barnard. If you want to lose weight, again, if you have somebody who's interested in losing weight, this is the 21-day Kickstart book, which is, all these books are very easy reads, especially even the diabetes one. Surprisingly, it was very easy and to understand. And then this one is about cancer. This is by Dr. Neil Barnard. This is the Cancer Survivor's Guide. Again, if you have anybody in your life with cancer, if you've had cancer, and Jennifer Riley, who's an amazing registered dietitian, she has lots of recipes in the book. So again, they're all whole food, plant-based recipes, so they're very good for helping to reverse and prevent all the major diseases in the world. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. So it's just really a win-win-win for your health, for the animals, for the planet. And I'll be back when the brownies are done in 30 minutes. Okay, we're back. Zoom on in to these delicious raspberry fudgy brownies. So I just lifted them up. After they cooled, I lifted this parchment paper up out of the pan. And now we're going to cut them. It says it makes about 16 brownies. So we're going to just see how this goes. Of course, that all depends on what size you make them, but we'll try. They're still a little warm. You could wait longer. They are so gooey. And I snuck a bite and they're very good. You know, they're sweetened with dates, so they're not super sweet. If you wanted a little sweeter, you could always add a couple tablespoons maybe of maple syrup. So, you know, you can always eyeball it first. I'm not the best cutter, but you can see how. And I did 30 minutes at 350, and I think they're done. They're so moist for just using beans, no oil, no vegan butter. It's kind of amazing. So just know going into it that it's a healthy brownie. All right, so there we go. Yummy. So you could serve them on a plate with some delicious fresh raspberries if you want, depending if it's for a dinner party or if it's just for yourself. So thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for saving animals with your food choices.